Today, I'm challenging you to find me a better dive watch than the Casio MDV-106 at the $40 price range. Welcome to Modern Regimen. It's your friend Chris. Thanks for hanging out today. Here I've got the watch on a leather single pass strap that I stained by hand and made for it. I've owned the Casio Duro MDV-106 since 2011, which is when I started actively learning about watches. The watch is also called the Casio Marlin, and I learned about it the deeper I dove into the everyday carry community. Today, however, I no longer own this watch because I gifted it to a buddy of mine over a year ago. And the footage and photography you're going to be seeing throughout this video were actually taken about 5 years ago through an iPhone 5 I had at the time. Okay guys, you must get it into your brains how much value this watch brings at the price it sells for. As you can see here, even my case back was put on the front lines to defend the inner workings of the watch. By the time I was done with it, it was all grimy, dented, chipped, dropped, dragged, and just simply beaten, because that's exactly what I used it for. It was a true to the core daily beater watch for me. Even though it's been years since I unboxed the MDV-106, I actually remember clearly how taken back I was by how the build quality was very disproportionate to the $30 price point that I paid for it at the time. And at the time of filming this right now, you can find these for about $45. And what I'm trying to say is that from my own experience, this watch punches way above its weight. Within the 8 years I've owned it, it's slammed into many walls, banged onto many doors, railings, rock faces. And from what I remember, it's went through one battery replacement. And throughout all the drama and abuse I've given it, it kept impeccable time. Now, the value proposition for the Casio Marlin heavily weighs on the fact that it is a 200-meter dive watch with an actual screw-down crown. Although the case size is at 44 millimeters, the lugs do a valiant job trying to tuck in as much as they can to max out at around 48 millimeters lug to lug. When I purchased this watch, I still didn't have any bias or personal preference regarding case size versus wrist size. Nowadays, my preferences in case diameter floats between 34 to 39 millimeters, which is one major reason why I had to let go of this watch. As you can see at above the 11 o'clock marker, there is a piece of the mineral crystal that chipped off. In fact, there are other tiny areas that chipped off as well, but the water resistance still held strong as far as I know. From a design standpoint, Casio gave it their all to spread that $45 price point as far as they could. From the reflective borders of the hour markers, the red-tipped seconds hand, tasteful bezel markers and numerics, subtle crown guards, a tidy dial, and even the knurling on the crown is visually pleasing. Even though it's a quite affordable watch, it is no slouch when it comes to adapting to formal or semi-formal situations. The fit and the finish is just spot on all the way down to the seconds hand actually hitting its designated markers. From my own experience, the watch just really performed well. Here I have it on another Horween leather NATO style strap that I made for it. A couple things to note about the Casio Marlin is that I did experience a tiny bit of play in the 120 click rotating bezel, and as far as how the loom strength goes, it's trash. But for being less than $50 out the door, all has to be forgiven. So throughout the majority of me owning the Casio Duro, also known as the Marlin MDV-106, I did wear it quite regularly and religiously, and given the right strap combination or bracelet, I never actually did wear it on a bracelet, but a nice leather strap would actually deem it to be a conversation starter in my experience in the past, wearing it out and about. For as much as Casio is known for their digital watches, especially with their lineup of G-Shock digital watches, which also has a hybrid selection of analog digital watches, regardless of that fact, you cannot sleep on this dive watch that is under $50. It's built like a tank, and throughout my time owning it, like I said, I've abused it and it's gone through the ringer with me in all sorts of situations, daily use as well as going outdoors, camping, hiking, the beach. It really is a testament to Casio's durability, especially with the fact that water has never entered the casing ever. There has never been any condensation under the glass, and regardless of the minor faults such as the weak loom and just a tiny incremental bit of play in the rotating bezel, there really actually is no problems with this watch if you were to use it as your daily tool watch. If you enjoyed hanging out today here at Modern Regimen, share some of that brotherhood and hit the like button if you found this video useful or valuable. And if you want to join the brotherhood, simply subscribe, hit the subscribe button. It would mean the world to me and actually does help the channel. With that said, always follow your regimen, my friends. I'll meet you back here on the next one.